So before we talk about, or I talk about, ways to play with the cards, I want to show you a little bit more about what's in the guidebook, because there's a lot of information in the guidebook. There's obviously the title page. I put in the guidebook some of my images just to break the space between different sections. So there's the table of contents tells you there's the story, the discovery, what are the different card families, ways to work with the cards, what are some very basic elemental fundamentals, and then on each card. So here we've got Once Upon a Time. How did the whole idea of minerals come to be described with the zodiac? Where did astrology come into with the body? So I didn't come into the story until the 1970s, which is a long time. Some of you were probably not even alive. So it takes you into the story. And what I've done is included some of the pictures as break fronts, if you will, between the sections. Then we come to card families. So there's 3 card families. There's the fundamental zodiac, which is the first 12. And there's the, let's see, there's the first 12 are fundamental, which is basically the fundamental zodiac are those cards, those images that were the most profound to me when I was doing the photography. Most profound for each sign of the zodiac. One, I didn't know anything about the zodiac when I did this, so I was picking the most beautiful picture, the most dramatic picture. And then the second 12 images are the expansive zodiac, which is also the same photograph of, let's see, where are we? So, an example. It's the same photograph. This is both the photograph of Capricorn, which is calcium phosphate. I want to get the glare off this. Calcium phosphate. It's going to be hard to get the glare at this time of day. And calcium phosphate is the mineral that makes bone. And it happened to be the first one I photographed. And it's like, wow, this looks like bone. And it looks like it's building structure here. And so this was, to me, the most representative of that mineral, of calcium phosphate. So it was in the fundamental zodiac. And this was also representative of that mineral, calcium phosphate, and Capricorn. But it was building structure. And many of the images looked like it was building on itself. And so I chose the second picture as it was an expansive view of the zodiac, and sometimes I think of this as the moon, the lunar energy, but you'll play with it yourself. You'll tell me what it says to you. And then there's the third category. So there's 12 fundamental, 12 expansive, and 12 alchemy cards. And as I mentioned before, the alchemy card, so the fundamental and the expansive is photomicrographs of one mineral. The alchemy is photomicrographs of the blending of 2 or more minerals. So it looks at the alchemy between elements, between air and fire, water and earth, things like that. And I look at it when you pull it out in the reading, it's a more powerful card. It expands what you see, what you know. So that's in the book. So the next thing in the book is ways to work with the cards. So ways to work with the cards is to create a relationship. I mean, if you're going to play with these cards, you're going to want to shuffle them. And when they first, I'm going to apologize, because when they first come out of the box, there's a strange smell, I guess, from the ink or the printing or the shipping. I'm not sure where it comes from, but it dissipates pretty quickly, so you don't need to be alarmed. You can put it outside for a little bit if you want. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a relationship. And how I create a relationship with the cards is I hold them in my hand. I take some sacred moments to breathe deeply. I usually light a candle, but if it's the first time I'm using cards, I'll hold them and ask for guidance. What needs to be shown? What do I need to do? Or just hold them. There's no set ritual to do. You'll figure it out for yourself. You might even, as I say in this guidebook, you might even want to put an essential oil on your hands and then hold these, or smudge them. So find a way to make them holy for you, because you have to really, you don't have to look at that, but I look at these cards as they're gifts from the universe, and how do we keep them sacred? So once you've got the cards, you're going to want to shuffle them. And these cards have never been shuffled before, so let's see how hard or easy this is going to be. So they need a little more play. And so if you're not an oracle or tarot card person, you might not. What am I shuffling for? You might want to mix them up because have all been in order. And while you're mixing them, do you have a question? How I use the cards I use them every day. And I'm asking, what's my gift for today? Or what's my challenge for today? What do I need to learn today? And so what's the gift of today's cards? And then there's so many ways of choosing the card. Do we spread them out? And this is not my usual way, because I'm not sitting at this big table. So you could feel which card speaks to you. It's over here. So what's my gift for today with these cards? It's about cooperation. So cooperation, just from looking at the card, I know it's an air card. I also know it's Gemini, because I did the photography. And what I would also say about cooperation, I see many lines in this. And to me, the gift of these cards is they're so abstract that you're going to see your own thing in the cards. I mean, I saw my own because I also knew what the image was. So cooperation is about being with other people, communicate with other people. Air is all about communication, ideas, mind, and sharing mind. And then you look at this and then go to the guidebook. It's like, okay, now what does the guide... So this is a good example to show what's in the guidebook. So the guidebook, as an example, has so you've got many ways of how you're going to use these cards. The guidebook has the image of the card. It's got the guidance for this card. And because each card is related to the elements, it's got wisdom from each of the elements. So in this case of cooperation, it's how do you recharge the air wisdom. It also has at the bottom of the page what the sign of zodiac is, the energy of that sign, and what the mineral salt is. So this mineral salt was potassium chloride. Not that you probably even care about that at this point. And also in the guidebook for each card is an inquiry question. How can you learn to cooperate when you want your own way? So a reflection card, especially with the air, it's really good for reflection. So now, okay, so we create a relationship, we shuffled, you draw a daily card. There are ways to, there's also, since this has an astrology spin, there are ways to do a reading for your birth sign. So whatever your birth sign, suppose you were born this month, the month of Cancer. Both of these are Cancer. So you would read those and get a feeling for what your sun sign is. You can do it for your moon sign. You can do it for your whole astrology to see what your signature would be in these pictures. And there's astrological information. It's very basic information in astrology. I'm not an astrologer. And I suggest 2 different spreads. You could play with them. Medicine wheel spread and the hexagon spread. And then here's the Astro Essentials. Capricorn, the time of the year, the ruler, the element, etc. For all of the signs of the zodiac. And then I'd very briefly, because I teach this, and I will make a longer video on the elements. So what are the basics for the different 4 elements, the fundamentals? Air is mind, wind. So always to think about not just the human element, but the element in nature, because I really think this is an important way to connect with your own nature, your human nature, and nature that surrounds us. Fire element is the sunshine. Fire element is the energy, is our vitality, it's life. The earth element is our body. The earth element is the earth we stand on, our trees, the things that are growing, the material universe. And the water element is our tears, our blood, our sweat, our emotions, and the waters of the universe, the rain, dew, etc. So to just go into some very basics, and then we get into the 36 cards, and then after that we get into who helped me do this. So Cindy Jacobs was really important in being able to be the graphic designer and lay these cards out technologically. And Neil Murray designed this zodiac for me. Mark Kriegbaum and Angela Murphy helped me with the professional videos, not this, because they would be horrified that I'm using this as a video. And then I had a dream team of people who helped me along the way, who gave me support, and really wanted to include them, and to also include the 2 people who instigated that I take the photographs through the microscope. And I didn't want to do the photography, so this is a long way in coming. And then there's a little bit of information about me, and then an image that I felt really reflected the elements. It comes from a wood cutting, I think wood print, that's on the back cover and the blast page. So that gives you the little book. And what came to me today, as I was thinking about these cards and getting around to finally doing this video, was another way to choose what card to pick for the day. If you want to do a day card, it's okay. Today is 7/7. It's July 7th, 2022, and so the 7 card is flow, which is really appropriate. It's like, how do I flow through the day? What stops me from flowing? How do I keep on being present while I'm flowing? And I'll read a little bit about flow. So this will be the last part of this little video that's probably longer than you want. The guidance is, let go of past fears. Move on. Unseen powers are moving you forward into your soul expression. Flow with it and welcome the chance to grow and nurture yourself. You easily remove any obstacles. Think of water as able to remove obstacles that could block your forward movement. Care for yourself lovingly. Flow is about letting go of control and resistance to be present and enjoy each moment. Tune into your own rhythms. So this is flow. It's the mineral for Cancer. It's a water mineral, calcium fluoride. It contributes to flexibility in our tissues. And so with flow, I'm going to say, go flow with your cards, enjoy your cards, and contact me what your experience is as you start to learn them.